Africans are hated everywhere. Soweto cannot afford to hate Africans. Black people are hated everywhere. When you see a black person, see yourself. When you see a black person, say, my brother, my sister, let's work together to build the African continent so that it can compete with the United States of America, it can compete with Europe, it can compete with China. You hate Africans, but you don't hate the Chinese.
Peace and love, peace and love. The time for Africa to love each other is now. The time to stop self-hate is now. It is very sad to tell you that last week, more than 23 Africans has been died and several injured when trying to cross the international borders from Morocco to Spain, and these are black people. So black people were hated everywhere. Look how the Ukrainian refugees treated, and look how the African refugees treated. Totally different. So Africa, we are treated different with others because we are so disorganized. We are weak because we are so disorganized. No one will respect us if we don't respect ourselves. The AU Chair Commission, Moussa Faki, has expressed his deep shock and concern at the violence and the degrading treatment of African migrants attempting to cross international borders from Morocco into Spain. Also, a call for immediate investigation, but this will not solve the problem. The problem is for we Africans to start understanding the world, how the white people love each other. Even we Africans, we must love each other. We must teach our young men and women that the future of Africa is here in the continent of Africa. We are learning from the continent with rich resources. We are learning from the continent with much opportunities, because we are so mentally conquered and think that good things are found outside of the continent of Africa. Let us tell our young men and women about the opportunities and potential in the continent of Africa. For how long black people will continue to drown, to be treated, to die in Mediterranean Sea or in the borders when trying to cross from Africa to Europe, from Africa to America, from Africa to Asia. We have heard many times how our young girls has been treated in Arab countries. It is very painful, very, very, very painful. But we learn nothing from them, from history. Look on how the Europeans love each other. We learn history, how the European countries come together and divide Africa. They came together. They didn't take it one by one. They came together and divide their share. So they love each other. They want everyone to have access. But when it comes to Africa, it is totally different. My dear friends and fellow Africans, you black people, you will not be respected until you respect your fellow black people. Until we're starting to hone our resources, we are learning our way, maybe because we don't see opportunities. Someone will say maybe we don't have a technology to operate on the resources in the continent of Africa. So when we get technology, we are talking about leadership. Yes, maybe these old men will not change, but the coming generation is we young people. So when you become a leader, what will you do? for Africans. Kwame Nkrumah told us, let us unite, let us having one army, let us having one language, one president. But we listen him not. And the consequence is this one. We are so enslaved. Even today, black people are enslaved in Libya. People in Libya, especially black people, has been sold like goods. For how long this will continue? So, dear friends, I think the time is now for we Africans, especially black people around the world, to come together. What makes us difficult to come together? What makes difficult to support each other? What makes difficult our readers? What makes us difficult to say, let us come together. Let us build the big industry here in the continent of Africa. We have taken a loan from IMF. We are taking a loan from China. We are taking loans from everywhere in the continent. Why we can't decide, let us now build some industries here in the continent so that our young men and women cannot run away. They can be hired here in our industries. Why we can't say, let us come together and stop this violence, stop these conflicts, so that our young men and women, our African people, cannot suffer. They have suffered during slavery. They have suffered. Even today, when we say we are so independent. For when Africans will stop suffering? And why are we still suffering in our continent? Please play your part. When you look on other continents, you see how they treat their people. But here in Africa, we have been treated different. We have taken all our resources to investors. We are taking our all means of production in the hands of investors. What do you expecting? So, my dear friends, my point here is Africa, we need to come together, especially black people. We are hated everywhere. So much we are hated everywhere. So let us come together. Let us build the Africa we want. So I have no more to speak, but it is so painful to see we have still lost the manpower. Many young men and women are still dying when trying to cross Mediterranean Sea to seek green pasture in Europe, but they left the green pasture here in the continent. It is so painful to see the continent of rich resources, her people are learning from it, from their resources. I don't know what they want to get, and you left these resources for whom one? That's the question we must ask ourselves. So, thank you. Please, dear friends and fellow Africans, let us think on how we can build the Africa we want, how we can liberate ourselves economically, so that you can be respected. If you don't own the economy, you cannot be respected. Even the family level, you cannot be respected if you don't own the economy. So, Africa, we need to own the economy. Thank you.